Your phone is 3 years old and suddenly it's slow. Apps lag. The battery's dead by lunch. So you start thinking maybe it's time for a new one. Here's the thing. That slowdown wasn't just age. On some phones, it was a decision. A choice made in software on purpose to make your old phone feel worse. And once you see why, you'll realize it's not just your phone, it's your printer, your laptop, your washing machine. Almost everything you own was built with a quiet expiration date. And the reason traces back to a secret meeting 100 years ago about a light bulb. Start with the problem no company will say out loud. If you make something that lasts forever, you only sell it once. A perfect product is a business that runs out of customers. So somewhere along the way, companies realize the most profitable product isn't the one that lasts. It's the one that breaks right after you stop being angry about it. Long enough that you don't blame them, short enough that you have to buy another. That sweet spot has a name. Planned obsolescence. And it didn't start with phones, it started with the one thing you'd never suspect: the light bulb over your head. In the early 1920s, light bulbs were getting too good. Some lasted 2,500 hours. A few experimental ones ran for tens of thousands. There's a fire station in Livermore, California with a bulb that has been burning almost without pause since 1901. It is still on right now. So the bulb makers had a problem. Their product worked. People stopped buying. On December 23, 1924, the biggest names in the industry, Osram, Philips, General Electric, and others, quietly met in Geneva and formed something called the Phoebus cartel. And they made a decision that sounds insane. They agreed to make their bulbs worse. They set a new rule. No bulb would last more than 1,000 hours. Engineers who'd spent decades making bulbs last longer were now ordered to make them die sooner. And if a company sold a bulb that lasted too long, they were fined. There were testing labs whose entire job was to make sure the product failed on schedule. This wasn't a cheap product, it was a good one, deliberately broken by secret agreement, and it worked. Sales went right back up. The cartel fell apart by World War II, but the idea didn't die with it. It grew up. In the depths of the Depression, a man named Bernard London actually wrote a pamphlet arguing that the government should force products to expire on a schedule to keep people buying and factories running. He wasn't exposing the trick, he was recommending it. By the 1950s, it wasn't a secret at all anymore, it was a craft. Car makers started redrawing their cars every single year so the one in your driveway would feel old long before it ever wore out. The idea had learned its first lesson. It didn't need to break your things. It only had to make you feel like they were already behind. And from there, across a century, it kept learning. It learned that breaking things made people angry and angry people complain. So it got quieter. Look at your phone. In 2017, people noticed their old iPhones crawling, and it turned out the slowdown was a choice written into an update for phones with tired batteries. The phone still worked. It was just taught to feel like it didn't. When more than 30 states came after Apple, their own attorney general said it plainly. People figured the only fix was a new phone, and Apple understood exactly what that did to sales. Then the idea learned something better than breaking. It learned to lock. Your printer still prints, but slide in a cheaper ink and it can turn on you overnight, flashing that the cartridge is damaged or missing when it isn't. Why guard a few dollars of ink that fiercely? The company's own boss said it out loud. They lose money on the printer, they make it on the ink. The machine was never the gift, it was the hook. And then it learned its cleverest move of all. Don't break it, don't even hide it, just lock the door on something you already own and charge you to open it. Sit in a new car, the heated seat is already in the seat. You paid for it, but it stays cold until you pay again by the month. The horsepower is already in the engine. Mercedes will sell you the rest of it for around $1,200 a year. No new parts, just permission. You own the whole machine, you're renting the pieces back. One at a time, people have started hacking their own cars to take back what they already bought. That's where we are. So here's the shape of the world that meeting built. 100 years ago, a few men in a room decided the things you buy should quietly betray you, and the idea outlived every one of them. It just got gentler about it. It stopped breaking your things and started keeping them from you. From a bulb engineered to burn out, to a tractor a farmer isn't allowed to fix, to a seat that's only warm when you're paying. You walk through your own home surrounded by things that are technically yours, sitting there with their hands out. And even the bulb's revenge got quietly taken. An LED can last 20 years, but plenty die young, sealed in a fixture you can't open, built cheap on purpose. The trick never left. It just moved into the parts of your life you can't see. So the next time your phone slows down right on cue or your own car asks you for rent, don't blame yourself. You didn't wear it out. You weren't careless. Someone a long time ago in a quiet room decided the things you own should never quite belong to you. You didn't lose it. You got played.